Alright, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this Thursday evening about 9 p.m. Couple minutes before. I hope everyone is doing well and you had a good Thanksgiving. We're just getting out a quick video. It's halftime for the Saints game. Anybody doesn't know it, I'm a big Saints football fan, so I'm recording this during halftime. But two things I want to go over real quick. It's out. GameMaster Class by Chris Cunliffe is out by Parallel Publishing. Go on, do yourself a favor. Go on Drive Through RPG and pick this up. It is worth it. Softback, I believe, roughly 76 pages. And guys, it's just chock full of really good information. If you're a new GM, if you're an established GM, and you've been doing it for I've been doing it for over 30 years, I still found stuff in here that was informative and new. So do yourself a favor, pick it up. It's got the art's pretty consistent. It's Parallel Publishing. They do fantastic stuff. The layout is fantastic. The contents are really good, real quick. The importance of Session 0. I cannot stress this enough. I'm playing in an AP, those that don't know, an adventure path from Paizo. My buddy Bobby is breaking in the reins of GMing, and his first time GMing, he's ran 2 sessions now of the adventure path, the Abomination Vaults, and he didn't know about the importance of a Session 0. And we all were all excited. We didn't know what we were necessarily playing. I didn't read the requirements for Abomination Vault, and we don't have a dedicated healer in our group, and Abomination Vaults is a really tough adventure path. So we're having a hard time. We don't even have a mainline fighter. The closest thing we have is me playing a Dwarven Monk of Aurori, and I'm not a beast. I mean, I can take a hit. I got a high AC. But monks don't deal a lot of damage. They typically 1d6, maybe 1d8 if you have a stance or something that bumps you. But I'm not a combat monster. I'm a tank basically. I sit there and take the hits. I got the highest amount of hit points in the group and the highest AC. So yeah, and we're not even level 2, and I think we just had the big fight with the Goblin King, or the Kobold King, or Goblin King, no, Mifflet King. For the first I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't played it yet that might be playing, but anyway, very, very, very important to have a Session 0. Assembling the cast, great information. Creating your world for world building and all that information. Journey or location. Populating your world. Crafting a compelling villain. I really found that section really intriguing for me, because you do this long enough, and every villain starts to feel the same. So it was good information in there. Your voice in the party. Don't forget, the GM is not against the player. The GM is for the players. You're the biggest hero of the players. You're there to set the challenge, to help them succeed, but make it difficult. And so your voice in the party is important, and your players should listen to you somewhat and take your advice, and so it kind of goes along with Session 0. Story, narrative, and plot, very important as well. Writing your plot and managing the pace of the adventure is super important. Here be dragons, pretty much the monsters and the way the players move in and out of the map. Know more than me. They know more than me. That's how to deal with players that memorize the monster manual and so on and so forth. Can I buy a shovel? When dice fail, basically failing forward. It's really good information. When things don't go your way, how do you keep moving forward? What players want. I think this also harkens into Session 0. You need to talk to your players and see what they expect from the adventure. What do they want to get out of it? And a lot of times as a GM, it's really frustrating, because you'll do this as a GM. You'll ask your players what they want, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know, whatever you want to run." No, that's not an answer. If you want to just show up and chuck dice, we can play a board game. But we're going to play a role-playing game. Do you want intrigue? Do you want espionage? Do you want a spy thriller? Do you want a murder mystery? Do you want action combat? Do you want a dungeon crawl? Do you want a heavy plot with politics and political gain? You got to tell your GM what you want so that they know what kind of adventure to run for you. Just coming and saying, oh, whatever you want to run. No, that's not an answer. So, and this kind of helps you deal with that. From tabletop to desktop, that's basically running your games online versus in person, and bringing it to a close. How to end your campaign. So I just wanted to go real quick. The sales are out on this. You can get it on DriveThruRPG. You can get a physical copy like I have here. Softback, 76, 78 pages, I think. Ton of good information. I also did an interview with Chris Cunliffe, and you can check that out on my channel. It's back in the archives. I'll try to remember to put a link to the doobly-doo in the bottom, because this is really good. But what I wanted to talk about briefly is I'm getting ready to start a Esper Genesis 5th edition campaign. And if you've followed my channel for any length of time, you've heard me say many, many times, I am not a fan of 5th edition. It does not spark me. I find it boring. I find the combat just drudgery. And I don't like I mean, I don't mind playing it, but I really am not a fan of GMing it. The one caveat, Esper Genesis. The world, it's a hard sci-fi world. There's no dwarves in space. There's no goblins in space. I was so disappointed with Starfinder from Paizo, because all it was Pathfinder 1st edition in space, and it just boring. That's just me. If you love it, hey, I'm glad you love it. I have a copy up there on the shelf. It's in my collection. I have the GM screen. I have the first Alien Archive, and then the GM screen and the players, the core rulebook, and I'm thoroughly disappointed with all of it. It's just fantasy in space. I don't want fantasy in space. If I want fantasy in space, that's easy enough to do. I want sci-fi in space. If I'm buying a Starfinder, that's sci-fi in space, but it's really not. It's Pathfinder in space. And that's fine if that's your cup of tea. It's just not for me. But Esper Genesis, oh my gosh. I had the chance to run into Rich Escofleur at GameHoleCon, and he was cool enough to sign my book. I don't know if you can see that, but I got him and Eric Weiner to sign it, and they were awesome. And Eric's quote in the book, "In space, nobody can hear you explode!" ! Have fun. And then, of course, Rich, the technocracy is watching. So one of the factions in Esper Genesis. So I did a review of Esper Genesis. I gave it a very favorable review. But this was out at GameHoleCon. That was last month in Madison, Wisconsin, which is about a 5.5 hour drive from Duluth. And so I was thoroughly tickled pink when I went there and I saw Rich, because I recognized him, and it's kind of cool because he knew me from my videos, and he liked my review, so he sent me a free copy of the Engineer's Guide, or whatever it's called, which I really haven't had a chance to dive into yet. I got such a backlog of games, guys, it's not even funny. But the threats database is basically Esper Genesis' answer to the monster manual. So if you're a GM, you want this. And what I'm going to say is, the art is phenomenal. Rich got some really great artists to do some work. The theme through the art is pretty consistent. There's no real pictures where you're like, what the they do a pretty solid job. The Shadow Technocracy. Look at that picture right there, man. That is amazing. That's just spooky. So, this is basically a GM's book. This is a monster manual for space, and it's got really cool monsters that you'll see in space and or on planets, and it's just really well done. I mean, the art is fantastic. Look at that. I don't know about you, but I don't want to run into that. So, just phenomenal stuff. There's underwater monsters and races and stuff. Some of these could be converted to player classes. Some of them are just downright bizarro, and some of them are just downright horrifying. A Fanarg. These things are nasty. They're lawful neutral. They're a large aberration, and they're basically a blob. If you saw the movie The Blob, you would but it's got, when you look in it, it's like chaos black, cosmic black, and their parasitic invasion. Yeah. Yes, they can absorb you, so, and get inside of you and control your body and stuff. But of course, we've got space dragons. It wouldn't be D&D in space without space dragons. So but they have a feel all their own. It doesn't feel like, hey, look, I just ported this over from D&D. These things have their own actions and abilities, and there's a difference that they feel like, they're sci-fi. So it's really well done. I believe this retails for $49.95. I picked it up at the con. I paid full retail for it. And I'm happy it's in my collection. And like I said, I'm getting ready to run a Esper Genesis game tomorrow night, Friday night. And we're going to have session 0. We're going to talk. We're just doing a real quick thing because after next week, next Friday, a week from tomorrow, we're off for the next, I think, 3 weeks, just because of the holidays and people's travel and stuff. But then we're coming back, and then I think we're going back to my buddy Bobby's game. So we're going to play this hopefully for the next 2 weeks. Or at least we're going to have session 0 and play a little bit tomorrow night. And then we'll see if they want to continue the game the following week. But super excited. Just wanted to get a quick video out and say, thanks to everybody. The big things coming in the new year. I'll do my Christmas video with my son, and we'll give a big thank you to everything and everything that we're thankful for and everything. I didn't do it for Thanksgiving because we had a very low-key Thanksgiving here. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. Really trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. We're at 972. So let your friends know. Let's boost the channel. Let's get it out there. Let's hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. I've got plenty more content to come. Really excited about it. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Hopefully some more interviews to come up, and some Kickstarters that are going that we want to talk about. So I think we're going to do a show about, I might even do that maybe Saturday or Sunday night. I might talk about the Kickstarters that I'm waiting on or I've backed and I'm looking forward to. And that might be interesting. And then, of course, we'll put links to the doobly-doo and everything. But anyway, as always, peace and hair grease. And remember, Mr. Mean says be nice. Everybody be safe. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. If I don't get another video out before Christmas, I'm hoping I will. But if I don't, be safe, stay safe, protect yourself, protect your loved ones, and have a wonderful Christmas, and be nice.